Page 45. The meaning of money. The old definition, money something everybody else has and I must get, would have expressed her understanding of it thoroughly. Some of it she now held in her hand, 2 soft green $10 bills, and she felt that she was immensely better off for the having of them. It was something that was power in and of itself. Page 74, Chapter 11. The Persuasion of Fashion, Feeling Guards Over Its Own. Carrie was an apt student of fortune's ways, of fortune's superficialities. Seeing a thing, she would immediately set to inquiring how she would look properly related to it. "My dear," said the lace collar she secured from Partridge's, "I fit you beautifully. Don't give me up." Whatever a man like Hurstwood could be in Chicago, it is very evident that he would be but an inconspicuous drop in an ocean like New York. The rich had not become so conspicuously rich as to drown all moderate incomes in obscurity. He could not fail to notice the signs of affluence and luxury on every hand. He had been to New York before and knew the resources of its folly. In part, it was an awesome place to him, for here gathered all he most respected on this earth, wealth, place, and fame. The majority of the celebrities with whom he had tipped glasses in his day as manager hailed from this self-centered and populous spot, the walled city. He began to see as one sees a city with a wall about it. Men were posted at the gates. You could not get in. Those inside did not care to come out to see who you were. They were so merry inside that all those outside were forgotten, and he was on the outside. Each day he could read in the evening papers of the doings within this walled city, when he confessed to Carrie that the business was not doing well this month, as it had the month before. This was in lieu of certain suggestions she had made concerning little things she wanted to buy. She had not failed to notice that he did not seem to consult her about buying clothes for himself. A pet of good fortune, Broadway flaunts its joys. Carrie had gotten herself up charmingly enough, but this woman pained her by contrast. She seemed to have so many dainty little things which Carrie had not. There were trinkets of gold, an elegant green leather purse, set with her initials, a fancy handkerchief. Needed more and better clothes to compare with this woman, and that anyone looking at the two would pick Mrs. Vance for her raiment alone. The walk down Broadway, then as now, was one of the remarkable features of the city. There gathered before the matinee and afterwards, not only all the pretty women who love a showy parade, but the men who love to gaze upon and admire them. It was a very imposing procession of pretty faces and fine clothes. Women appeared in their very best hats, shoes, and gloves, and walked arm in arm on to 34th Street. Jewelers' windows gleamed along the path. Florists' shops, furriers, haberdashers, confectioners, all followed in rapid succession. Women were spending money like water. She could see that in every elegant shop she passed, flowers, candy, jewelry seemed the principal things in which the elegant dames were interested. And she had scarcely enough pin money to indulge in such outings as this a few times a month. Today a low song of longing had been set singing in her heart by the finery, the merriment, the beauty she had seen. Where were their rich apartments, loaded with all the money? She carried vivid imaginations away with her, and brooded over them the next day alone. She lived as much in these things as in the realities which made up her daily life. 3. The Feast of the Belshazzar, a seer to translate. Page 228. Ames also leaned slightly to one side. This man was far ahead of her. He seemed wiser than Hurstwood, saner and brighter than Druitt. He seemed innocent and clean, and she thought that he was exceedingly pleasant. "I don't care to be rich," he told her. "Not rich enough to spend my money this way." "Oh, wouldn't you?" said Carrie, to her new attitude forcing itself distinctly upon her for the first time. "No," he said. "What good would it do? A man doesn't need this sort of thing to be happy." Carrie thought of this doubtfully, but coming from him it had weight with her. She said good-bye with feigned indifference. What matter could it make? Still the coach seemed lorn. Back in the dining room she sat in her chair and rocked. Her little hands were folded tightly as she thought. Through a fog of longing and conflicting desires she was beginning to see. O ye legions of hope and pity, of sorrow and pain, she was rocking and beginning to see.